The Toronto Raptors get absolutely manhandled, punked. They just fell apart against the New York Knicks. I mean, what the hell happened here? What happened? Did you guys watch this game? I mean, everything seemed okay until about, 4 minutes into the third quarter. And then after that, the Raptors just absolutely fell apart in this game. Some things we got to talk about because there are some numbers that are alarming. And we got to pay attention to this game because this is who the Raptors were tied with in the standings here. The New York Knicks. I really, really wanted the New York Knicks after what happened to us in the last game that we played them. And then it happens again. It happens again. This thing fell apart very, very fast. I'm telling you. The Raptors going into this game against the New York Knicks have lost 10 in a row coming into this. 10 in a row. But then when this game started, Colin Murray-Boyles with a game time decision, he comes back into the lineup. Starters were Quickly, Barrett, Ingram, Barnes, Colin Murray-Boyles. And it's interesting, going into this game, the Raptors at 29-20. Last year, they were 15-33 at this same time. And so because the Raptors are fighting in the standings with the Knicks, I was really paying attention to this one. Like, let's see what the Raptors are going to do here. Let's see if they're going to toughen up, go up against the Knicks, put on a show us some toughness, show us some grit, see what they're made of in this one. And the Raptors start off in this thing with a 7-0 run to start the game, pushing the ball for the 4 out of the 7 points, Quickly drills a 3 early on in this game, and the Raptors are sharing the ball. They were sharing the ball early, 5 assists on their first 5 field goals. And one thing you had to pay attention to in this game is keeping the Knicks off the glass. You got to keep the Knicks off the glass because they're second in the NBA in second chance points. And the Raptors were doing a pretty good job of that early. But overall, they could not get Karl-Anthony Towns off the glass. And I'll get to that in just a second. But the Raptors, with 4:05 remaining in this first quarter, were up 19-10. Colin Murray-Boyles ends up picking up his second personal foul. But the Raptors were doing a good job defensively, rotating, keeping men in front of them. They forced the Knicks to turn the ball over. The Knicks had 5 turnovers with 2:36 remaining in that first quarter. So they were doing a good job defensively. And for the rebounding, the Raptors had a 17-11 rebounding advantage after that first quarter, 6-2 in fast break points. And the Raptors had a 10-point lead after the first quarter. It was 28-18. They were doing their thing on defense. They were. But then the second quarter starts. Maybe I'll actually get this finished for you guys today in 12 minutes. Probably not, but let's see. Colin Murray-Boyles did something really annoying that just annoys the hell out of me. And we've talked about this before. He gets the ball. He's wide open for a layup under the basket. And when I mean wide open, I'm talking literally wide open. And he passes it up for a 3, which ended up being a Grady Dick brick. I just don't understand why you're giving up layups for hard 3s. Can somebody explain that to me, please? And he's done this over and over and over again. It's annoying. He's got to be a little bit more aggressive when he's in that paint. Don't be so quick to give it up. You're capable of finishing Colin Murray-Boyles in the paint. You do realize that. Go up and do a layup, please. Grady Dick in this game, double figures again for Grady Dick. So that's 5 games in a row now. 16 minutes in this game, 11 points, 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 3 from three-point range, 6 of 6 from the free throw line, gave you 3 rebounds and a steal as well. So that is still good from what we're seeing from Grady Dick. Points off of turnovers, 11-2 Raptors with 6:30 remaining in that second quarter. And Jamal Shed comes into the game, makes an impact defensively. Not great offensively in this game. Didn't take many shots either. 23 minutes, 3 points, 1 of 4 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3-point range with 2 rebounds. Gave you 2 steals in the game. But isn't it crazy that Jamal Shed did not make the Rising Stars team for sophomores? Just absolutely a massive snub. Ridiculous. That is ridiculous. This is guy 6th in the NBA in fourth quarter assists. 6th in the NBA in fourth quarter assists. And 2nd in assists amongst reserves. And this man did not make it. He impacts winning. That has to be a piece of the criteria, does it not? I guess not. I guess not. But the Raptors went 6 minutes once again without a field goal. Without a field goal. The droughts are still happening. The droughts are still happening. But at least at that point, they were getting to the free throw line. And that's what I was happy about, because the Raptors were plus 10 from the free throw line in this game, which is rare. They were 25 of 29 from the free throw line in this game. They shot 86% from the line. They had a 4-point lead at the half, 51-47. And Barnes was playing well in that first half. He had 13 points and 9 rebounds. Raptors were 14 of 46 from the field, though. They were shooting just 30%. 17 of 18, however, from the free throw line, 94% from the free throw line. So they were getting there, which is important. The Knicks, 19 of 46 from the field. They shot 41% and only 6 free throws for the Knicks in that first half. The Raptors, 14 points in the paint. And this is where the problem was. The Knicks doubled their points in the paint in that first half, 28-14. And overall in this game, it was 60-38 points in the paint for the New York Knicks over the Raptors. And in that second quarter, Karl-Anthony Towns had 14 rebounds alone. 14 rebounds. There was absolutely no one who can keep Anthony Towns off the glass in that second quarter. No one. He had 16 rebounds in totality at the half. At the half. Something has to be done. Something has to be done here about not having a center.
It's completely BS. This is shame. Shame for the referees, shame for the league to allow this. It's happening over here during whole season. I've been holding it back. It's a complete crap.
Please bring this to an end come next week at the trade deadline. Bring this centerless team to an end. Doesn't even have to be great. Finish around the basket. Get rebounds. Throw an elbow every now and then. For God's sakes, block some shots. But we got to be able to keep guys off the glass. We need some type of rim protection. And rim protection we had not. Because the New York Knicks were strolling to the rim like it was absolutely nothing in this game. Like it was nothing. Not to mention we had some pretty rough offensive outputs from some of our guys in this game. Not from Brandon Ingram, that is. He played pretty well overall. 34 minutes in this game, 27 points, 10 of 16 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3-point range, 6 of 6 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, gave you 3 steals as well. RJ Barrett in this one, not a good shooting night. 24 minutes, 14 points, 3 of 13 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3-point range, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 3 assists in this game. Scotty Barnes, 32 minutes in this game, 17 points, 6 of 13 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3-point range, 10 rebounds, gave you 5 assists, but he turned the ball over 5 times, gave you 1 block as well in this game. And Emmanuel Quickly, extremely quiet, single digits, 7 points, 3 of 9 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3-point range. And that 3 he hit in like the first minute or 2 of the game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal in this game. So extremely quiet for Emmanuel Quickly. And, you know, overall, this game was, you thought it was a winnable game, like I mentioned, up until the third quarter, which we're going to get to right now. So early on in this third quarter, Ingram is just nailing jump shots from everywhere, from all over. And when I say from everywhere, I'm not necessarily talking about 3-point range, but from mid range, he's just knocking him down from everywhere. He had 19 points with 9:30 remaining in that third quarter. Quickly was doing a better job, I thought, moving the ball, getting it up the court a bit quicker to get out into transition. However, the Raptors were up 66-55 with 8 minutes remaining in that third quarter. And with 6:25 remaining, Knicks go on a 7-0 run. And also with 6:25 remaining, same time, the Raptors have 5 turnovers in that quarter alone. So this is where the big shift happens in this game. And one guy who I'm telling you, well, there was more than one guy. There's a few guys I got to talk about from the New York Knicks that just went crazy on the Raptors in this game. And no, I'm not talking about Jalen Brunson. Brunson was a modest 5 of 13 from the floor, 0 of 3 from 3-point range. He only had 13 points in 30 minutes with 4 assists and a rebound. The two guys that actually killed the Raptors in this game was OG Anunoby, who had 34 minutes. He had 26 points, which is a season high, 11 of 18 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3-point range, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and 6 steals. 6 steals and 2 blocks. Mikal Bridges, 30 points in this game in 36 minutes. He was 12 of 15 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3-point range. He had 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. And I'm going to mention somebody else. Josh Hart, 22 points, 7 of 11 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3-point range, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. And I told you already, Karl-Anthony Towns. Remember I told you in that first half how he had 16. He had 22 rebounds in this game. You heard me correctly. 22 rebounds.
This is completely BS. This is shame. Shame for the referees, shame for the league to allow this.
Any centers around? Any centers around? Mike Roach calling the NBA trades, free age, anywhere. Any centers, anywhere. I don't think there is. I don't think there is. Bobby Webster, you better get on this. You better get on this immediately. So, 5:38 remaining in that third quarter. Brandon Ingram, 10 points in the queue. He had 23 points. Brunson picks up his 4th foul with 4:04 remaining. But the Knicks, like I mentioned, walking into the paint. Just walking into the paint. No resistance. No resistance anywhere to be found. Plus 22 in the paint towards the end of the third quarter. Karl-Anthony Towns, with a minute remaining in that third quarter, 18 rebounds. 18 rebounds. And the Knicks were flying up the court, sharing the ball with each other, taking the good shots that they can get that the defense gave them. And they end up going on a 24-4 run. And the Knicks are now up 79-70. The Raptors turn the ball over 8 times in the quarter. And after the third, it was 82-70 for the Knicks. 82-70 for the Knicks. They outscored the Raptors by 16 in the third quarter, 35-19. Raptors at that point with 16 turnovers overall in the game. And the Knicks doubled their points in the paint after the third. 48-24 points in the paint. Just brutal. Just brutal. The Knicks, once again, sharing the ball, making shots. And with 8:30 remaining in that fourth quarter, they had 12 more field goals than the Raptors at that point. Quickly was missing a bunch of floaters. Now, floaters that he typically would make, at least a decent percentage of them. And OG, like I mentioned, with 3:30 remaining, already a season high, 26 points, along with the 5 steals. Also had 5 dunks, which shows you how much he was getting into the paint. And that was all the fat lady sang in this one.
Bleep, 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 bleep. What are you laughing at, pig boy? You find a piece of candy in your pocket?
That was all she sang in this one, folks. It was good up until the third quarter, and then the Raptors just completely fell apart. Just completely fell apart at the end of the game in that third quarter. Just rough. At MikeRoach7 on IG, at MikeRoach23 on X. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, and share the show. Rough night for the Raptors. They will get back to the drawing board. You're going to have games like this. Remember, I've talked about this before. 10-10-62. Well, this is one of the 10 games where the Raptors are going to be getting blown out. 60 games will be competitive. You will blow out an average of 10 of your competitors. You will get your ass kicked around 10 times as well on average for the season. This happens to be one of those games. But, overall, the Raptors really do have a problem when they end up going up against a team like the Knicks. The Knicks just have a level of toughness that the Raptors don't currently have. And it's like we mentioned, like when you got to put guys like Scotty and Colin Murray Boyles to fight with Karl-Anthony Towns on the glass, I mean, it is going to wear a guy like Scotty down, especially when you need him to do work for you offensively. I mean, we just want to see this damn forward at the center position experiment come to an end. Like this really has to come to an end at this point. And I'm not specifically blaming the loss on that, but for God's sakes, please find this team a big man to put in that paint, to block and alter shots, to get rebounds, to battle with the bigs so our other forwards don't have to continuously do this night in and night out. You're going to be able to get away with it with certain teams, absolutely. But when you're going up against a team like the Knicks, who are one of the teams at the top of the ladder in the East, we're going to need a bit more physicality. We're going to need a bit more size in the paint. Bobby Webster, do something. Do something at the deadline to address this. We are expecting you to do so. Hope everyone is having a good night. I know that was a rough one to watch, but you don't have time to complain. You get back to the drawing board. You have another game coming up very, very shortly. This is the Mike Roach Show. Until next time, likes, concerns, comments, get in the comment section. Get in there. Okay, I want to know what your thoughts are about this game and what you think, and we'll discuss it in the comments. I'll get back to you as fast as I can. This is the Mike Roach Show, and I'm out.